Hello, my name is Johnny Bannon, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Trepid Technologies. And in this video lesson, we'll be going over part 2 of our CCNA Live Virtual Training Introduction video series. So if you're coming from part 1, you know that we left off on our Day 0 course familiarity page in our CCNA course. So that's what we're going to start for this video. So this Day 0 lesson is all about getting you familiar with our course, why we do things, how we do it, and to ensure that you have access to all these links down below. So at Trepid Technologies, right, we're a training and certification company. But we do believe that even if you're learning Cisco, getting a cert in AWS, getting a certification in Microsoft, it is important that we integrate other technologies into that training just enough to get our students familiar with industry best practices and technologies that may not be part of that certification exam. So that is why here we have GitLab links, Confluence links for knowledge-based management, Google Drive to actually store all of our files and folders. And then we use GNS 3 as our sandbox environment, which is actually running on a Google Cloud VM instance. And then of course we just Zoom, right? So this is a virtual live training course, we use Zoom. Another thing we do here at Trepid Technologies is we give the students lifetime access to this learning management system. So if you've ever taken like a Udemy course before, this is the same back-end software they use, just maybe not as cleaned up. So every lesson or every course will have this right panel that has all the lessons here. And each lesson, besides our Day 0 course familiarity lesson, we'll have a quiz assigned to it, we'll have PowerPoints and videos. So for instance, on Day 1, you're going to start right here at Network Components, Topologies, Cabling, TCP, and UDP. And here you'll be able to get the course slides that I, the instructor, will be reading off of and using to teach you guys. And if you need to go where the Zoom link is, it's all right here. And if you need to submit a comment, right? Say, hey, instructor, I think this section needs some work. You can comment that here, and all your fellow students can see that. Then after we get through the lesson and all the labs, we also have a quiz right here that you can take. And these quiz questions are essentially what's going to help you pass the CCNA exam. These questions are very, very similar to what you'll see on the actual test. But for this video, we need to make sure that everybody knows how these links work and what we need prior to the start of the course, so that Day 1 of our course, we can jump right into it. So first thing we need to do is make a GitLab account if you don't already have one. So let's click this link here. And again, it's going to open up a new tab. So we use GitLab to actually host all the base configurations for our network devices in our training labs. So as you know, in enterprises nowadays, we have gone to a lot of controller-based networking, which essentially means having consistent configuration management for your network devices. So at my day job, we use GitLab as a source control management system for our Ansible networking configuration management. So I try to integrate a little bit of that into this course. So GitLab is going to be where we host all the lab configurations prior and after. So you'll have baseline configurations in your GitLab repo that I'll teach you how to get cloned to your desktop. And then every day, so let's say Day 2, I will actually upload the complete configuration for our labs onto GitLab so you can clone that again and see how the configuration was supposed to be done, right? So kind of a way for you guys to check your work. But the first thing we got to do is actually create a GitLab account. So it's easy. We're just going to sign into Google. So I'll use my Trepid Tech email. And this can be any email you want, because this is actually going to create you a GitLab account. But we suggest using the same one you use to sign up for our course. enter my password. Good thing my two-factor is still working, right? And then once we're signed into GitLab, yours should be empty, right? You shouldn't be able to see anything. That is because once you make this, we're going to need you, the student, to send an email to the instructor at this email below so that I can actually go in and add you to be a member of this project. So how it works is once you create your GitLab account, I can search for a member, right? Actually, we'll go here to invite members. And I need your GitLab member account or just an email address, right? So I'll invite my personal one. And I'll give you guys developer roles, which means that if you think I did something wrong or that we can make something better or that you have a better base config, I'll actually teach you how to do a merge request, how to make change to our GitLab repository, and then you can go in and do a merge request. And this is possible by giving you this role. Then I'll set an expiration date. So it's important that once you make your GitLab account, that you email me and get with the instructor to say, hey, I made my account, so I can go in and add you on the back end. So that's GitLab. And if you come here to our actual project, I have nothing in there yet, but in here will be all the files and all the lab configuration, baseline configs, and the lab steps. So now we go back to course familiarity, and now we're going to go to Confluence. Get rid of these other labs. So Confluence is a knowledge management system that is based off of Wiki. So Trepid Technologies, we actually host our own Confluence knowledge management system and our own Jira project management software. But I've made this how-to space available to the public. So in here you have a bunch of how-tos, right, that we've made here at Trepid Technologies. So if you want to go over OSPF configuration all the way down to not-so-stubby areas, stub areas, authentication, virtual link configuration, I have a pretty comprehensive how-tos in there with pictures, baseline configs, everything you need to actually set up OSPF virtual link configuration. Come the start of your course, you can't see it now because I made it not available to the public. At the top here, you'll see CCNA virtual course and then your course dates. In there is going to be all the how-tos available for the course, right? So for instance, in the videos below, I'm going to teach you how to install GNS3, how to install VS Code, how to install Git for Windows. There will also be the how-tos corresponding to those videos in this Confluence how-to page. Then next we're going to go over our Google Drive. So as you can see, this is for my CCNA course starting 28 March, and nothing's in here yet. And that's because all your course information is currently on my desktop. So once I upload that to this drive, then you'll be able to see your day one slides, your day one lab information. You'll be able to download Cisco IOSs. You'll be able to see all the network diagrams, all the videos that are available for you to download will also be in this folder. You'll also get your own student folder. Well, if you want to save stuff for the course, you can save it in your student folder. And you'll always have lifetime access to this Google Drive as part of our CCNA course. So this will be where all the course folders and files will be at this drive link. Next, we're going to go over our sandbox environment. So for our labs, I like to use GNS3. There are other software out there like Cisco Packet Tracer or EvenG that you can kind of accomplish the same thing. What I like about GNS3 and EvenG is they're both network emulation. So when you're in your sandbox environment, you are actually working on real Cisco equipment that's just virtualized on a container on the GNS3 application. So you actually get to use real Cisco iOS is and real Cisco CLI. So in your welcome email, you're going to get a Word document that says what student you are. So let's say I'm student 01, right? I'm going to click student 01 here. But before I click that, I actually want to show you guys something. And I'll show you this in the course as well. Like I said, we like to use a lot of technologies here at Trepid Tech for our courses. So we use the Google Cloud platform to actually host your GNS3 server instances. So let me bring this into view. So student 1 is actually using this VM instance that I created using the Google Cloud platform. So during the course, if I were to click student 02, right, before the instructor said, okay, now we're going to start our labs, you're actually just going to get an error page because I have to go on the back end and actually start that VM for student 2. So as you can see here, we're just going to keep getting this circle because student 02's VM is not online yet. So during the course, when we go to start our labs, I will start all your VMs, and then you'll be able to click this link, and it'll take you to your sandbox environment. So here you can see these old labs. And here now you have your complete sandbox environment using real Cisco IOSs. So if we come here, we can do a web console. And as you can see, these routers are booting up. It does take 2 to 3 minutes to boot up, right? So when we go to start our labs, we're going to take a 5 to 10 minute break for everything to boot up before we actually start labbing together as a class. So that's how we run our sandbox environments. And then, of course, this link right here for Zoom, is just a Zoom link, right? In your welcome email, I'll put the link in there as well. But you can also come here and just launch it. And you can see this came up on the side. So obviously, I haven't started the meeting because I am the host. But just another easy way for you guys to have all the links at your disposal. So when the class actually starts, day 1, we're going to start right here at Network Components. We're going to go through all these slides together. And then once we're done, we'll take our quiz right here. Start quiz. And then once we're finished with that quiz, we'll move on to the next section. So let me go back here. So it won't be till day 2 that we actually start using our labs. So day 1 will pretty much be us getting our fundamentals. And the only lab we'll do is our subnetting lab, which will still be on Zoom together with the instructor, right? So we won't actually get to the CLI or the iOS until day 2, day 3, and day 4. And again, you can always come down here and comment, or you can actually email the instructor if you just click that link. You can see it pops up with your your email. And that is pretty much it for our familiarity course. When you click down here at day 0, I'll actually have more videos in place, a video playlist, right? That will show you how to download Git on your Windows desktop. It will show you how to download GNS3 if you want to use it locally and not through our web environment. It will also show you how to download VS Code. All right, I want to thank you guys for viewing. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the Trepid Tech team. Thank you for viewing.